systems, occupational health and safety assessment series. He is into training and development, and he is a founder of Core HR and IR Group, and which we see that I think more than 5,000 HR are there in the members, like, and they are creating and they are organizing HR events in this forum. He is a very active member for various management associations, be it be Ghaziabad, be it be Faridabad management associations. He is nominated for presentation at International HR Conference for NESCOM, a zonal team member of NHRD, Delhi NCR chapter, and has participated in, I think, more than 50 conferences now. And without too much ado, I'll just hand over the virtual stage to Veer. Over to you, Veer.
Thank you, Vartika ji, for sharing and briefing about my profile. And I'm looking forward to have a great interaction with you and your students. So am I audible clearly to all of you?
Ji.
So one request that I will do from the participants is be interactive, and it's not a one-way session that we are going to do. It would be going to be a two-way session. So I would request, if anybody have any question or any thoughts that is coming to your mind, feel free to raise your hand. We will allow you to speak out and discuss on it. So it is going to be a two-way session. So today's session is about the future of work. So how it is going to be, and what kind of expectation from the industries, that from the students and from the upcoming workforce, that on that area I would be highlighting in. My discussion would be in two parts. One part is that how the work places and the organization is going to change, and the second part I would take is that what kind of a skill set, what kind of expertise that it is going to be required, because you all are first year students, and I believe that this time if you get right kind of advice and right kind of recommendation, you will be able to take a decision, informed decision you will able to take. So that's how I have framed this whole 1 hour session. Before I start, I would like to show you one video, which is my organization video, where I belong from, and how we see that how automotive is going to be in future. That just a video that I'm going to share it right now. Please confirm if it is visible to you. Is my screen visible to you?
Yes.
Okay. And also please confirm sound is coming to you or not.
Now it is. Ji.
Yes, okay. Let me close this window. I'm sharing just a minute.
Ankit, you may post your questions in the question answer chat box, and we'll happy to share the questions with Veer. Everybody can post the questions in the chat box. Whatever questions do you have?
Hope now my full screen is visible.
Ji.
listen to your heart, reach out and take it. All over the world, yeah. Together, we're all in this together. All over the world, yeah. We're all in this together. The power of freedom. The power of freedom. We're all in this together. The power of freedom.
Yamaha, our imaginations run free to create things the world has never seen before.
So hope you got idea that what automotive is going to be, and how the future is going to be changed. So with this, I will start the session, and I will start with the quote that has been given by the one of the chief futurists and the chief engineer at Google, Ray Kurzweil. He predicted that the 20,000 years of progress that we as a human being we have seen, it is going to be in next 100 years. So the time that we had taken to be like this today is, suppose if I had taken 20,000 years, so tomorrow it is going to be 100 years. Within 100 years we are going to see that change. And with the the speed of change that we are experiencing, it is like it is going to be even lesser than that. Not just 100 years it is going to take, but I think within 50 years or 60 years we'll able to see that the whole world has changed. So this with this quote, I would like to tell you about that how the future of work is going to change, and what are the changes that it is going to be. So because things would be automated, because things would be more advanced. So uh, one thing that is going to be a big change over the next 10-year time is that how you manage the complexity. So managing the complexity is one, uh, you know as well as ambiguity, because what happened that when you have automated things, when things are complex in nature, so managing of it could be becoming a challenge. So that is going to be a one area that we need to look into it. Then every organization in future going to require a new learning cycle and adapt them to you know to cater with the new challenges, not only to survive but succeed. And there will be a major shift in thinking, that how we have learned and how we know the profession, and one job and stay in it for decades, that is not going to work in future. So suppose if you have today, suppose you have done management in marketing or sales, so you should not think that if you will carry for your whole life and career the same stream. So you have to be open and you have to be agile to accept the changes and prepare yourself according to the changes. So these are the major thing that is going to change. Coming to the that how the organization is going to change. So there are three parts that I would like to highlight on. One is the work itself, it is going to change. Second is the workforce, and third is workplace. So these are the three major uh, shift that I am foreseeing with the change that it is going to be. So let's understand about what will change in the work. So if you see, that earlier the work is like you get a job, full-time employee job that you as a uh, employee you get, and you pursue that. But in coming time, and there is a World Economic Forum survey that it talk about that 32% of today's job is not going to be the same that we are knowing today. So what it means? It means that you need to be very innovative. You need to be think in a very different perspective. And what will going to happen tomorrow is that you will be hired for the short term job. So like today what happened, today for example, if you take example of Uber, Ola, so you don't hire a full time driver in your home. Now what you do, whenever you require, you just uh, uh, log into the system and you get a driver with the car. Similarly, in the coming time, uh, the employer will also hire people similarly with the same model. So, and now your question will be that how the employer will know that what is the skill set of the employee, what is the the commitment and the the delivery of the employee. Similarly, it is the Uber Ola model. Whenever you will be working with any of the employers, they will uh, rate you based on your delivery. And the people those who have got high rating would get more job. The people who will get low rating will not get the more job. So what what you need to think is that what is the difference between the today's world and the future world would be that today what happened, you learn something and then you stop it and you start working. But tomorrow it is not going to be. You have to keep upgrading yourself. You have to keep learning new things. That is the future of work is going to be. Similarly, workforce. So workforce is like, as I touched upon some point, like uh, now the next thing that is going to require is that how you able to collaborate between people and machine. That uh, suppose today you are working with a your colleague who understand you, but tomorrow suppose if you are working with a machine, machine will not going to understand you. Machine will expect you same level of professionalism, same level of process orientation as machine has designed. So have you have to equip yourself with those skills. What are those skills would be? Data driven decision would be data driven. It is not going to be uh, your gut feeling or your you know uh, it is not going to be like that whatever you want you can do. No, it's not going to work like that. You have to be process oriented, and you have to take your decisions or take your execution according to the process that has been defined. So what are the skills for that is required? The first skills that I can foresee is problem solving skills, which is very important. You should be very, very, logically sound, and you able to understand the whole context and then give the solution. That is the one skill that you should develop. Second is the communication. Communication is again going to be a very important skills. It is always, but in future it is more. Why? Because of your communication and the way that you are communicating your vision, mission, and your dream to the people those who are around you, will then only you will be succeed in your job. Because it is mostly going to be managerial, and not the, you can say that execution kind of role is going to be automated. So that's why communication become very important role. Listening is again a very important skill that you should learn and you should understand. What happened in today's time, I have seen especially the new generation, they don't listen the complete story, and they make their own mindset, or you can say that preconceived notion that they have heard from their parents, their society, or their community, and they build some idea about anything. But my recommendation is that you should be a good listener. Until unless you are not a good listener, you will not be able to understand and react properly. So that is one skill that is required. And then interpretation and designing skills. These are the two very important aspects that it is going to be required in future as a workforce I am referring. So what does it mean? It means that there would be no fixed per, performa or format, or the way that we see today. It is not going to be like that. You have to interpret the requirement, you have to interpret the opportunity that is available in the market, and come up with the design, come up with the solution that can solve those problems. So that interpretation and designing skills would be very important, that would require. Coming to the workplace, you all know we are working in a virtual mode, and this session I am also conducting with the virtual mode. So the word or the term that people have coined is phygital. What it means? Phygital means physical and digital. So it is going to be the hybrid model. So phygital is going to be the workplace where you would be required for a physical meetings and physical discussions also, and similarly at the same time you would require to be available and be presence on the digital medium also. So workplace is going to be phygital in future. Coming to the what kind of, so before I go ahead, I would like to know any question till now, anything that I would love to take questions.
So we have two questions. I think we can take the questions. First, I would like to ask me that there is one word which is going on. It is gig workers or gig economy.
Yeah.
So if you can elaborate to the new student that what is the career prospects of this gig, and is it really fruitful? Will it take the jobs of permanent employees, and what is it alternative?
Okay. Yeah, it's a buzzword, however, in India, but in US it is reality now. And people are working with this this kind. There are platforms there that where you register yourself, you should give some preliminary test, and then they will register, or you can say onboard on their platform. And the companies, those who want to take your services based on the ratings, based on your skill sets, based on the test that you have given, they will hire you for the job. And that platform is the common body, those who ensure the security of both the parties. So you will be paid, they will ensure you, and the company will also be ensured by that in medium, that platform, that we are taking your delivery, that your delivery, we ensuring that your delivery will not impact. So suppose if X gig worker will not be able to do your work, we ensure you that Y gig worker will deliver that work. So coming to the gig worker, why it is going to come, let me explain you first, and then we'll explain you that what are the skills and how you can be a gig worker. Many times what happened that in the current job or current as an organization, we see that many of the roles do not have the full-time work. Okay, but because of that, this gig work or gig platform is not very mature, organization is not going to take the risk. And even if the employee has 4 hours of work or maybe 10 days of work in a whole month, then also organization is paying to them, and it is the cost to the organization tomorrow. And it is going to be, I'm very much sure that if as an organization I know that from this platform, if we outsource our job, for example 10-day job that I have, I will outsource this job to any of the gig worker or any of the platform, we know that we able to get the delivery. So definitely I will save the cost of 20 days. And at the same time, when we come to the gig worker and gig worker side, perception that we see today, employees are complaining that I am low paid, I'm not being paid as per my skills. So tomorrow you will have the choice that you can take 4, 5, 10 works as per your capacity and capability, and you can deliver it and you can earn according to your capability and delivery that you can give. But the important thing that you need to learn and you need to understand about the gig worker is that your skills should be updated, your skills should be at par, your professionalism should be at par. And in today's time, what happened that you learn while working with the organization on the organization cost. You are getting my point. But tomorrow when you would be becoming a gig worker, you will not be get those opportunity that how to be professional, how to deliver the work, what are the expectation from the customer. So it is going to be a new challenge as a gig worker, that you will learn with the work assignment that you will get. So this is all about the gig worker is.
So we have few questions. We take up few questions. Akshit is asking, what work opportunities could be sought that can arise in coming years through projected development action plan of government?
Can you repeat the last line?
Sure. What work opportunities could be sought that can arise in coming years through projected development action plan of government?
Just a second, let me. Okay, so you are asking mainly the government side. So what I believe is that irrespective of Akshit, the government plan, what I believe is that any of the market drive the requirement. It is not about the government. Definitely government impact and government policies definitely impact the industries. But now today we are living in a global world. So market will drive what is needed, and I'll cover it in the last of my session, that what kind of job, what kind of role is going to be required in future. So I'll definitely take up this question in the last, as per the session that I had designed.
Correct. So Ayushi wants to ask, I think you were discussing about the gig thing, and she's asking, that means freelancing would be the best choice to earn?
It is not the best choice. This is going to be a compulsory. It is not like the choice that you would have. Maybe yes, some of the roles definitely would be on the full-time basis. We cannot say that all the roles would be on the gig worker mode, that it is going to be. But most of the job, and especially the entry-level job, is going to be a gig working thing. Especially the strategic level jobs would be always the full-time, and maybe in that also. Today we all know that consultants are working on a short-term assignment basis on the requirement. But yes, for a strategic role, it is going to be a full-time. But for entry-level job, I believe that in coming time, all this kind of job would be a gig worker job.
Ayushi has one more question. How to develop technical skills in career as HR?
Technical skills in HR, yes. That I am going to talk on this in this slide only, but this talk only. But let me touch upon some of the areas that you can think of and you can work for. For example, today, suppose if you join any of the role into the HR, so people will expect you that you should know about the Excel, you should know about pivot, you should know about the chart, how to prepare the chart and presentation skills. But tomorrow, the same thing would change, and people will expect from you that you should have the analytical skills. If you are coming to me with some, for taking some decision, or you are, saying something, so you should come with the analysis. You should not come with the data, but you should come with the analysis, that basis on these parameters and these points, I am proposing this change. So tomorrow analytical skills is going to be very common. You can say that today, as we expect everybody should know MS Office, so tomorrow analysis, everybody will expect you that you should know about how to use Tableau or other software that we know today in analytical world. So these are the skills that you should learn.
So Prince is saying, what are the skills that are required for startup?
Okay, so I think most of the people are talking about the skills side area. Let me take that area first, and let me explain about that what kind of changes that people or company would be going requiring for, and then we'll
Right. So we'll talk about because in the other sessions I'll just tell you so that it doesn't duplicate it. So we have talked the kind of soft skills which were required in the other sessions, please. So you can like again. So this was
No, I'm
Priyanshi,
not-
Priyanshi and Anirudh will sort out this gig questions after what after 5-7 minutes after the skills thing. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. So let me because many of the people are more interested on that what kind of skills is going to be required. So let me take that part first, and then we'll continue my discussion on that how the workforce work and workplace is going to be. Because why I'm giving this information in the start as a background is because what I believe is that until and unless you understand that how the overall workplaces workforce is going to be changed, then only knowing about the skills is not going to help you. Okay, so that's why I have taken as a whole perspective so that you will understand. But let me first talk on the skills that is going to be required in future, and then it may help you to learn. So especially the people those who are into the management line, okay, they should be well versed with the new technology like Python, data analytics, AI, and machine learning. And I'm not expecting, and I'm not saying that you should go and learn about how to code it, but how this functionality and the capability can help you to take better decision, better execution. Those kind of expectation would be from the management graduates in coming time. Then what other things that you can think about, and you can you should go and learn about it: cloud computing, cyber security, AI, ML, process automation like RPA that we all know, and data science. It is going to be a new area that would require. But one very important, and I think Vartika ji has touched upon the soft skills part. So fundamental management skills is going to be required same as it is required in a previous era. You should not think that you should only learn about this data science and whatever new technology that I have touched upon, but fundamental management skills would always require how your interpersonal skills is, how your negotiation skills is, how well you compassionate about the people around you, how well you understand the emotions of your people. All those things is going to be required, because these things cannot be replaced by any machine at least for next 10 years. Maybe in future it could be, but that those skills always be required. And you should not, you cannot say that we can leave that. I have I can talk on the industry also, that what kind of industry is available that you can focus upon, but I can take pause here, and we'll ask Vartika ji for any other input.
Sure. So we have a few questions. Like we were discussing about the gig thing. So Priyanshi and Anirudh have 2 questions on gig. So gig workers get the same benefit as full-time employees is one question.
No.
No.
So the labor code that has come up, and if we see that how it's because it all derived from the US actually. So how it's happening in US today also, these gig workers are asking for
Google Meet hai?
their social security. I'm getting some additional sound.
Sagar, if you can help me with,
Google Meet है. Google Meet में चलता कहीं बेसिकली वो पर्सनल लेवल पे होता है.
we'll just check, sir. Sagar, if you can mute yourself, please.
I have done that.
Okay.
Yes. So coming to the benefits part. So it is the matter of still it is because it's evolution, and whenever any new things comes up, it takes time to to settle and to get the right kind of benefits or rights and responsibility that we can call. So in US also today, this is the area which people are coming up. You may have heard news that Uber driver has done the strike to get the social security benefits from the Uber. So it is not like, it is the same that it has with the full-time employees, and the gig workers would not get the same benefits.
So Anirudh is saying, is gig employment a disguised unemployment similar? If it is the same, then gig economy is not suitable for India.
It is not about your choice, Anirudh. Okay, it is suitable or not suitable. It is the need, and it is going to be. So because as I mentioned you, that why today it is not in and why it is going to be in future, is the only reason is that strong platform is missing. If any strong platform will come like Ola, Uber, earlier, if you ask anybody that will you go for with the unknown driver, so maybe you as a female, or maybe as a my family members, I would be doubt. But today we don't even think about it, because we know that there is a strong technology and platform is available. We can track that driver. We know that how the driver is performing in past, and that's how we have accepted those models. So similarly, it is going to be, it is not about our choice. It is the market who will drive this gig economy. I'm not saying that it should be, but I'm saying that this is going to be future of work.
And then I think it would depend on the kind of organization, or maybe the sectors. Differentiation would be there with the gig economy. I think on the IT part, it would be more of these kind, and these are actually prevailing. We like IT people, they work on projects.
True, service industries would be more impacted by this, but manufacturing and other industries would be less impacted. So it is based on the nature of job that I can say going to be.
So Abhishek Pandey has one question. Is artificial intelligence a boon or bane?
Okay, so actually I would say that artificial intelligence is going to be, you should not say that it is going to replace or take place of professional, but it is going to help humans in a better way, that I can say. It can help you to, there are many jobs, or there are many things that is, you can say that uh, it's a operational job. Okay, and based on that thing you take decision. So these things can be automated, and your decision time would be less. You will take better and informed decision. So it is going to be help in your work, not like it is not going to replace you.
I think moreover in HR, like if we talk about the students who are opting for a career in HR or maybe in sales. So if we talk about this AI, and we talk about AI taking place of HR. So if I talk about in percentage or maybe the work, so what changes as maybe from the corporate, or how changes are there? Like changes are there, or just it's a kind of we are just discussing this AI. But this I think we all want to know that what are the changes and how percentage it is there been affected.
Percentage wise, it is very difficult to tell right now that how much percentage of the work that has been taken by this AI and ML technology. But this is not a buzzword, let me tell you. In the industries, we have started using it, and many of the work today is being used through this artificial intelligence technology. So in my organization, I can give two examples. One, for example, when we publish any job, we used to receive 2,000, 10,000, sometimes it depends on role also.
Correct.
Profiles to us. And it is very difficult for a person, for a recruiter, to shortlist all this and go through these all 10,000 profiles. So here we are using technology, and this system automatically give me top 10 resumes matching with my JD. Okay, so I will focus first on top 10, then top 20, then top 30. So my whole time in shortlisting and finding out the right candidate has been removed by this AI. So how it's impact? Now the same, suppose if I have a 5 opening, Okay, so we need 10 people to work upon it, or 5 people at least to work upon it. But today we need only 3 people to work upon it, and the speed of work has improved. So this is one area that you can say where we have utilized the AI. Second, there are many reports that we prepare, okay, and we present to the management. We are using RPA, process automation, and that robot process automation has reduced the time of preparing any reports, and only the analysis part that we have to do. We do not require to give time into the preparation, downloading the Excel sheet, making the reports and charts. All these things is being now uh, developed by this technology. Now the question arises that uh, it is not reduce the number of employees. It is how we see, or how industry see. It has enabled us in taking more jobs, more we horizon has increased. Second thing, on the skill side, now we do not require a person who know Excel and who know the basics of the system. Now we require a person who have more analytical skills, who can understand the data that has been prepared by this RPA and this technology, and come up with the meaningful statement, come up with the meaningful conclusion. So those things we now, and that's why I'm saying that it is not a buzzword. It is slowly coming.
Yes, being followed.
It is going to be.
Okay. So if an employee has joined the company just after completing his PG or MBA, and if he stays with that particular company for a long time, then is it possible that he would sound more experienced and skilled if he wants to skip his job in future?
What is the meaning of last line? If he want to skip his job, means leave the job?
Correct. I think this is what he means. Leave the job.
Again, it's your personal choice. That is one. And second is the type of company that you are in. Okay, so if you are able to get the learning exposure, if you are able to get the you believe that you are developing in this company, so you can remain long with an organization. There is no problem in it, because the best part of remaining in the one organization is you able to know that what work and what not work. Okay, because especially in HR is a area where you cannot expect any result in a 1 month or 2 months, because it's a human. So anything that you are implementing, or anything that you are changing, it will take time to give you the return. And suppose if you change the organization, you will not be knowing that what approach works and what approach not works. So better to at least see 2-3 cycles in the organization. And my take is that until you are learning in any organization, you are developing in any organization, then you should remain with that organization. When your learning and development has stopped, you should look for some other opportunity. That's how you can build your career.
So what are the skills required for the development of critical thinking?
Critical thinking. So as I mentioned about, the first skills is listening skills. Okay? Because until and unless you will not listen, you will not be understand the whole perspective. Okay. Then second skill that is required is problem solving, because if you problem solving, how it start, it start from understanding the problem, and then thinking about how we can and when we say critical thinking includes all aspects of the problem, or all aspects of the so sometimes what happens that we try to instantly respond to anything. But when we say it is critical thinking, take the time, see that who all are the stakeholders, or who all are the parties that is going to impact from my decision or my this work, and try to understand all the people around, or all the parties around that work or that topic, and then you should come up with the solution. And this is the major problem with the professionals, that they think in a one direction only. But whenever, especially in nature, I am saying, if you are doing anything, you should consider all parties that impacted by that decision. So this all those things include in the critical thinking.
So Prince asks, what are the skills or software that are required in finance stream? Okay.
It is difficult question for me, however, but I can understand. I can give you today's time. There are many ERPs which has inbuilt financial systems inbuilt into it, and uh, you should learn about that how this the functionalities of these ERPs are, because now in a today's time we have uh, uh, reached to that level where you will not expect it to design or develop something, especially in finance. I am saying only thing that how you can match the best practices that is available in the system, and how how your organization is working. So there are many things that is available. You should be knowing about that, what are the things that is available into the system, and how you can actually use those capability with respect to your organization. Now the problem here arises that organization, they don't want to change. So there your capability will play very important role, that how you can convince them that this change is going to help, and help in a positive way.
Ayushi has one question, Ayushi answers. If we didn't have any background in data science or cloud computing, then how we would learn those skills? Okay, non-IT or non-statistics oriented, maybe she wants to say. Yeah.
Yes. So what I would suggest for you, Ayushi, is that if you ask this question like 5 year or 10 year back, then I would say that it's difficult. You need to find someone who will help you. But today's world, it is not. There are various courses that is available, and very in a if you suppose if you select the preliminary kind of courses or introductory kind of courses, it has been explained in a very well manner, and I believe that you will able to understand. The problem that you may face is that use of usability of those learnings, how you will learn. So for that, I can suggest you that try to find out some guide or mentor who is working in the organizations, or organizations, and will able to help you in give you some use cases to learn or to implement it. That's how you can learn this.
Which is the most important section in resume? Okay.
I would say the whole resume is important, and it is not about this section, but it is more about how you are representing your profile. Sometimes and now in today's time, there is a you can say rule, or the
Maybe here, Veer, I would like to interrupt. So for a fresher, like these students after 1.5 years or after 2 years, they'll be like, actually the resumes and everything would be working out. So for freshers, like the corporate, like look for the which important section. I think she wants to ask that. What's the most important in a fresher's resume?
Okay, I got your question. So let me open my video. Yes. So the important thing that we want to see in your resume is, if your question is that, then I would say that apart from your course curriculum, what you have done, okay, how you have utilized your learning in some meaningful experience, in some meaningful outcome. Okay, if you have done that, so you are above the average student that we believe in. Okay, it means that you know how to utilize your skills, how to showcase your skills to the world. Many of the the people that we hire, we give weightage to the real work, not the fake work. Many times people write something that I have done this project, I have done that, but when we probe into it, we know that it is not the real work that the person has written in their resume. So you should try to utilize the skills that you have learned during your course, and that you can highlight in your resume.
So, what are the main skills we need to be in the marketing field? Okay.
Marketing field. uh, mm, it is, it's a difficult question for me, because I am very much indulged in the HR areas, and difficult to, but I
But
can
suppose if you want to hire somebody for your marketing department.
yes, yes. So in that way I can help you, but that would be again
Correct.
for the senior people that I generally see. And what kind of
Correct.
skills that we see is that how well he is aware about the business and the industry, and uh, how, what are the, you can say, in the past years, what the achievement that person had. So for example, one company has launched one product, and he or she is able to establish that product in market share has increased. So those kind of, you can say, skills that we look for. If in at the point of fresher, if I say, so again, the basic skills that I have told you about, that is needed: communication, listening, and all those interpersonal skills. But apart from that, you should have very good understanding about the business and the industry, that how the things are, which are the brands available in the market with respect to your product. What is the placement of those, what kind of audience, or what kind of customer demography is, you understand those points or not, that those things will require in for the marketing professionals.
How do AI work in art or culture department? Culture, see, okay, now it is organization culture or art and culture. I'm not understanding this question.
How to AI work in art culture department?
So Anshul, you can elaborate your question and we will answer this question, because it is difficult to understand. It is the corporate culture you want to ask, for art and craft. So I don't think that art and craft or art and culture is relevant to the session. Kindly elaborate your question, please.
Yes, please.
So how to increase or enhance, it can be, how to enhance analytical skills?
So as somebody mentioned about the critical thinking, is what that is needed for your analytical skills, to enhance your analytical skills. Then knowing about the models that is available in analytical world. So with the same data you can apply different models, and then you can see that what result is coming. So I can say, I will say that basic of analytical skills that you should learn. And then definitely you should be, you should have the critical thinking skills also, because until unless you don't understand the whole perspective, as I mentioned, for the critical thinking, so similarly it is applicable for the analytical skills also. And the most important part of analytical thinking is, what is my customer need is, that you should keep it into the center. Sometimes what happens, that people come up with the analysis, but that is not answering my query. Okay, so you have to understand from the customer point of view, that what is needed, what he is expecting from this analysis is, that understanding is very important. And as I mentioned about the whole perspective, so you should also understand that after this, getting this result is going to be used for what purpose. Okay, so if you understand those things, so your whole thinking would be aligned to that only.
So here, Srishti and Kanika have two questions related to HR. I'm sure they want to build a career in the HR domain specific. So apart from HR, apart from soft skills and technical skills, what other traits are required for an HR? And how to furnish our soft skills to be fit in HR?
Apart from technical and
soft skills, what traits are required?
In HR, if I say, the basic and very important skills that you should learn is understanding the people, emotions. Okay, until unless you don't understand the emotions of the people, you will not be able to, come up with the right kind of uh, solution. Okay, so that is the basic requirement for the HR department, that I believe is, if you understand the people emotion, then all the work or all the activity that you will do will be right, and uh, people will appreciate that, and not only they appreciate, but it is ultimately going to help your business. Why? Because people will be more satisfied. People, you will able to retain people better because you understand their emotions, and as per their emotions you derive the policies and procedure of the organization. You drive the whole HR activity that is in and around to the people in the organization. So if you understand that, so that is the very important skills that you should learn. And then very important that I am going to talk with the basics of the HR management. Many times I have seen that people has come up, but they don't have the understanding about how things actually, the people those who research, and that is part of your curriculum. It is not about the theory, let me tell you. It is the you know uh, the effort of many researcher and many people, those who have worked past in the HR. They have written this model, they have written this theory that we all know. You should try to learn it, because until unless you don't know this, you are starting afresh, and in that case what happen, you do mistake. So theoretical understanding and background, solid background is very important for any HR people.
So how remote working is impacting an employee and the employer?
Very good question. Actually, by 12:30, I have another webinar on this.
That's done. We are done. Yeah, I think, yeah.
Yeah, similar topic that they have taken. So yes, it is challenging. It is not easy, especially with the engagement of the people, because we are working in a remote environment. We are not meeting to each other. We sometimes what happen that in informal discussions, we know about the problem of our people, as a colleague also, not as an employer I'm saying. And you have the you can say soft corner for the people. Okay, but in today's world, what happening that we are meeting for official meeting, formal meeting, we don't know what kind of problem that the person is facing, and we are expecting the same kind of result. The problem is, in that case what happened, uh, you know we are not able to give the space to the people, and these things also create a very uh, problem. Second is uh, the um, from the employer side, if I say you, uh, the performance management, many of the organizations, they are struggling with the how to manage the performance in the virtual environment. They are not able to gauge how much people are actually working, how much not working, especially the people those who do not have the very good performance management system, which tracks the task and the work that is provided. So these are the challenges that as a remote working we are facing.
Okay. So we have other questions, but I'm sure it's already 3 minutes to 12. So you can just brief up the session.
Okay, so as I mentioned about the future of work, and I have touched upon the the various aspects of workforce and workplaces. So I would say that you should keep those in mind. uh, for the people those who are going to be in HR especially. So the major shift that is going to happen in the HR area is that earlier we are more focused on the attracting, developing and retaining talent. Okay, but in coming time it is going to be accessing, curating and engaging talent. So you have to see that how I can access the right talent pool and how to curate them. Curating means that as per your system requirement, and then how to engage them. So somebody has asked the question about the gig worker. So this is the challenge that is going to come, because your company environment is different, and the people those who is coming, you are taking as a gig worker, it may not be, fit with the cultural requirement of your organization. So the curating thing will require from the HR side. The first thing, the accessing the right talent and pool, and then third one is engaging them also, because even if they are gig worker, they need engagement, else what will happen, the delivery will impact. So these are the new shift in coming in HR that is required. Then, coming to the industry that you can focus upon, that is upcoming industries that you can get the job in the future: EdTech, education and technology; finance and technology, fintech; health and technology, health tech; consulting; cyber security; gaming; analytics; cloud computing. These are the major, industries. They are going to generate job in future. So you can focus upon those industries. You can create, or you can develop the skills according to their industry requirement. Then you will be, you will be getting a good job in future. And last, you should not confine yourself within the India. There are international assignments, there are international placements happening. So for that, what you have to do, it will not be, going to happen with your Naukri profile or something like that. You should be a very strong online presence. Okay. And you should come up with the the critical thinking that you all have mentioning and doing. You should uh, try to follow the leaders in the world. You should write, you should read their articles and give sensible input to it. Then your profile will automatically highlight. It is not about just liking it. When, if suppose I have written something on my LinkedIn, and if somebody write back in a appropriate manner that he understood and he is putting his point, I definitely go and see that who is this person is, and that's how you can build your online repo. So those are the things that is going to be a decision factor in future. You can use those techniques and highlight your profile and be available for the job in the market. That's all from my side for today. Anything from my side?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. We lost the connect.
No problem.
Okay. So I think we are done with the session. We thank you so much in spite of your busy schedule and on a Saturday when we are not working on Saturdays. You took out time for our students. And the point was like they had so many questions because they have just started up with the, the PGDM program. And they have a lot of questions, and we have so many other questions also to be. But maybe in the coming sessions, we can have just the question answer round with the freshers.
Yes, so one thing that,
For this enriching session, yeah.
One thing, just last thing that I would like to highlight. I think we have done this exercise with your college only in the past, the SWOT analysis. So I think that is the best way to identify your strength. Don't confuse, don't go with the the buzzword going around. Try to do your SWOT analysis with help of your college and with the expert, so that they with your strength they can guide you that which field you can take.
Sure. Thank you so much, Vi. Thank you so much. Thank you.